And welcome back. George Norrie back with Morgana Ray. Morgana, tell us, what would you recommend for manifestation? What do people do to get in that mode?
Rid yourself of fear. When you try to grab anything with the energy of desperation, it's like grabbing water and it just slips through your fingers. So find where you're protecting yourself. Find what is dangerous and what is blocking you and what is in the way, and eradicate it, remove it, obliterate it, free the field, so that all there is love and lightness and play, and that's when stuff drops in your lap.
Would that be the only thing you should do, or one of the first things?
That would be the most dramatic. That would be if everything else isn't working. There's so many. Practice gratitude. Practice preemptive gratitude is a fun thing to do. I would say with goal setting, shrink down your daily steps or your action steps to be really, really silly small. Make it easy so that they get done. Every time you get something done, it builds confidence, that builds momentum, that builds lightness. Make manifestation a game. If you're stuck and all your other tricks are no longer working or are not working on one area, then I would take out the big guns and find out what is in the way and get it gone.
Will you see results right away?
I don't know. It depends. I have seen results right away. It really depends on the individual. I have received letters from, there was a calligrapher, Alesia Zorn, who was journaling in my financial alchemy book, doing the financial alchemy chapter when she got a phone call and a job while she was in the process of it. So it can happen instantaneously, but I can't ever predict when or how much. I can just follow the energy of what's in the way and when it's gone, and when you've actually connected with the love, with the money honey, and you will know it. And what I hear back is that it's an experience that they've never had before. Having that monster gone and being free of it, and then feeling loved and worthy and held, feeling a rightness with life to a degree that they've never experienced before. And then the money is almost like a very nice side dish, a pleasant extra, but it has that lightness because the desperation is already gone.
It's the bonus, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. But first, it's the relationship with life and yourself and that feeling of being loved that makes the money, just a really nice, fun bonus.
If the money doesn't come, but you go through these stages of manifestation and change, you're still better off, aren't you?
Yes, and here's what I would tell a client is, well, you have a money honey, and you like this money honey, and you trust this money honey, and you have this really deep core conviction that this money honey is real to you and loves you. Have a conversation. Find out from your money honey what's going on. What do you need to learn here to release this pattern? What is the message here that you need to learn so that the pattern and the scarcity no longer serve a purpose? Ask your money honey, what's going on? What action do you need to take? And just keep having that dialogue.
Let's take some calls here for you, folks. Questions or stories? Start with Karen in New Jersey, first-time caller. Hi, Karen. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing.
My question is, what are my monsters that are preventing me from losing weight and also for using my inherent psychic abilities to make a career? I know that I have these abilities, but I'm extremely fearful about the best way to use it. I don't want to use it the wrong way. But it just seems like there's a big obstacle in front of me, and I can't overcome it in terms of just my personal health and also my ability to use my psychic gifts.
How would you tackle that, Morgana?
Well, I'm hearing two things going on at the same time, and they're related. So with the psychic gifts, it sounds like you don't trust yourself.
Yes.
And if you trusted yourself, that wouldn't even be a question of using it the right way or the wrong way, because you're such a deeply inherently loving person, and just that you're worried about this lets me know that you have integrity. The other piece with the weight, that is,
Yes.
yeah, okay. Two things going on there, and I would say the root here is really an issue of self-love.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, it's body issues for women, really, really big problem, and it is related to money because women are measured, our value in the marketplace is measured on our appearance. So there's a part of us that finds us so unacceptable that we want to be less of us. So we want to get rid of weight and literally reduce ourselves, be less of ourselves. And that's a rejection of ourselves, and there's a part of you that knows that you're rejecting yourself and is pushing back against that. So if you could uncover the part of you that finds yourself unacceptable and take in the rejection and the negative judgments that you've received and beliefs about your beauty and your weight and your body, and you separate that from yourself so that all you have is self-love, then you can choose to love yourself and want to have a healthier life and hedge your bets to have a really good life experience without having to find yourself unacceptable and reduce yourself at the same time. And then if you approach your relationship with your body from this place of delight and love instead of rejection, then you can make choices without that inner conflict, and that will make losing weight much easier.
And are those the results? You begin to see that you are losing weight?
Yes. That's how I lost weight. I'm a failure at diets. We don't want to reject ourselves. That's why diets never work and people always gain the weight back. But if you are no longer rejecting yourself, then you can actually love your body into the experience, the health, the vitality, the weight loss that you desire.
Let's see if Karen has a follow-up question for you. Karen, go ahead.
And in terms of the psychic ability, how do I handle that in terms of my fear of using it to make a career or to move forward with it?
Do you think you have it, first of all?
I know I have it, yes.
Okay. How does she utilize it, Morgana?
Okay, so I'm hearing different things. First, you said you were afraid of using it the wrong way, but what is the question now? Are you afraid of being persecuted?
I don't want to use it just for, I'm sure that there's a specific role that I should be using to use it. I just don't know what it is because I don't want to head in the wrong direction with it and go in a way that's all about money as opposed to truly helping people.
Okay, so ding, 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 I heard a money monster here. So what if you could only make money by helping people? What if you could only make money by being in integrity?
That would be nice.
A good heart?
That would be nice.
Yeah. But that's an agreement that you can have. If you get rid of your monster and you have a money honey, then money wants to help people too and doesn't want you to hurt people or take advantage. But if you're saying only for the money, how unloving is that? If you came from a love-based relationship with money, where loving money and being a good relationship partner with money makes you a better person and a better healer, then you can make business choices that will stick, that will grow your business because you won't be fighting yourself. So it's trusting yourself and getting out of the fear that you have to make compromises to make money. Don't compromise. Don't be a bad person to make money. But also value this life partner that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Don't cheat on this life partner, this money who loves you, to go off with people who don't value you and don't want to pay you. Does that make sense?
Let's go east of the Rockies now. Roberto is with us in Florida. Hi, Roberto. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm totally blind, and I would like you to give me your expertise as to is it more difficult when you're totally blind to manifest? Like for me, I would like to manifest the love of my life or the job of my life. Can I use my eye condition to my advantage, or is it more difficult to manifest what you want when you're totally blind?
Interesting. How long you been blind, Roberto?
For 35 years.
35 years. Go ahead, Morgana.
I don't think love has anything to do with blindness. You don't need to be loved by every person in the world. You need to be loved by your person, and part of the definition of your person is this person loves you as you are. So magic is magic. It's unreasonable, it's unrealistic, and it happens anyway.
Will his handicap of blindness hinder him or not?
I don't believe so. It will repel the wrong people. It will serve him by pushing away the people who he does not want. But it also makes it's almost like a lighthouse, a beacon for the person that is his right person. It makes him wrong for all the wrong people and right for the right person.
Let's ask Roberto.
George,
go ahead, Roberto.
I would like you to see if I can just get in contact with her. Everything she has said up to now resonates with me. I would like to somehow get in contact with her to see if I can just get some assistance. I'm totally blind. I live by myself, and I feel like I'm spinning my wheels when it comes to getting ahead, or to get work.
Okay,
so
well, we're going to put you on hold, and you're going to give Tom your number, and Tom will get it to her. Go ahead, Tommy. Pick it up and take care of that. Is that okay, Morgana?
Yes.
For them to get a hold of you. Meanwhile, your book, Financial Alchemy, where do you get it?
You can get it on Amazon, but if you go to my website and you go to the book page on my website, you can get an extra bonus that the people on Amazon won't know about, which is a 90-minute Q&A call that really goes into the weeds and all the stuff that comes up when people try doing the process on their own. The questions you ask are always so much more fascinating than anything I can come up with. So if you go through my website, you can still buy it on Amazon, but come back to my website, give me your name and email address and your receipt number, and you will get this extra bonus recording because I think it'll really help.
Okay, let's go next to Maria in Sterling, Illinois. Welcome to the show. Hello, Maria.
Hi, thank you very much for taking my call.
What kind of demons do you have?
Well, I actually had a few questions.
All right.
Well, the first one is I'm visually impaired in my one eye. Is it possible to manifest, even though the doctors say that I'll never see out of the eye again, because I started losing the vision 4 years ago due to diabetes. So they said that there's nothing, even after surgeries and all that there's nothing, it'll never get better. It's just permanently blind or damaged. Is it possible, although highly unlikely, but possible to return the eyesight that I permanently lost in that eye? And then
let's do that one first, and we'll come back for your second question. Go ahead,
My
Morgana.
first answer is I don't know, but I do believe that things that seem impossible I've seen happen. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I would also approach it as an experiment with a certain, again, manifestation happens from a place of love and lightness, almost like a game, is when things happen, I think the most quickly. So I would direct you, again, to my book and to my process because I just find it so useful. And there are other processes in the book. But this is the thing that I do that really nobody else does, that I have seen the most shocking results with, which is really what else besides the eye gets in your way? What was going on when that brought on the diabetes?
And is the diabetes in check, Maria?
I mean, kind of so-so, but even if I...
Are you taking
even
insulin
if somehow
or what?
I never was diabetic again, the damage and the blindness is permanent.
Yeah.
The scar tissue, the cells are dead and damaged forever. And that's what the first question was.
Well, maybe, But we also know that neuroplasticity grows nerves again. So I don't know. What I would say is I love medicine. I love doctors. I'm a bit of an outlier there. When medicine gets it right, it's miraculous. When it doesn't get it right, it's a mess.
Yep.
So if you aren't getting enough from that, I would definitely explore your relationship with your eye from a spiritual perspective. What does your eye want you to know? What is the message? What do you need to see that you've been refusing to see? I think things come up when we're ready to heal something, and we get messages. Again, I say the universe reaches us through three primary teachers for our evolution: love, money, and health. Health is getting your attention for your evolution. What does your eye need you to learn?
Maria, are you taking eye supplements?
Yes, I have for a very long time.
Especially lutein, L-U-T?
Yeah, yeah, I take high doses of that.
Good.
Along with bilberry, but nothing. I mean, it doesn't do anything.
I mean, are you totally blind in that eye?
Not totally, but I'm not any better now than I was 4 years ago when I started taking supplements for it.
What do you see out of that eye?
It's just really dark. I mean, I see some detail, but it's a lot more skewed and a lot darker. And
Can you see your hand if you wave it in front of you?
Yeah, I see it, but not in real good detail at all.
I understand. I mean, if you closed your good eye, you really couldn't drive or anything like that, could you?
If I closed my good eye, no, I probably couldn't drive, no.
Okay. And what's your second question?
My second one was
before we get to the second question, diabetes is a life-threatening disease. So if we were to construct a life monster, this is at least one instance that this monster has tried to kill you. And I think that the eye is just another way of this monster energy to separate you from life force and desire to live, to erode your pleasure and power in life. This is the way the monster would hurt you through that. And there will be other patterns. If you were to go on this journey, which worked really, really well for my client in Arizona, it takes a lot of courage. But you build a case against this life experience, and you put it into this monster, and then you destroy it. And then when it is really gone, like there's no trace of it left, only then is it possible to have a new relationship with your health.
Maria, we'll come back to your second question right after the break, and then we'll get the rest of the calls when we come back on Coast to Coast AM. Morgana's website is linked up at coasttocoastam.com. You can send her emails that way. Morgana, Tom will get to you and give you the phone number of Roberto. And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you. We're back with Morgana Ray. Her book is Financial Alchemy, 12 Months of Magic and Manifestation. And let's go back to Maria in Sterling, Illinois for her second question. Go ahead, Maria.
Hi. So my second issue was about love,
What's the question? Be specific.
Well, I've never, ever been lucky in love, or even, I'm not even wanting marriage or kids or anything like that, just like somebody really, really hot, and I've never been lucky in love. I used to think many, many years ago that I could, get the type of guy that I really, really want, but over time, and now I'm like really old, I'm almost 50.
That's not old.
But I realize that I'm never going to get the type of guy that I want. I go for physical attraction when looks are extremely important to me. And the only guys that ever seem to want me are like ugly, old, bald, average or below average looking.
Now, don't knock ugly, old, or bald.
But I never ever seem to get the really hot, younger looking guys, the metal rocker type of dudes that I've always wanted.
So what's the question?
I guess, is it possible to manifest something that's pretty much impossible because...
All right, that's good enough. We got a lot of calls coming in, Morgana.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My client, Catherine, met her first-time husband ever. She was already 55, and she met him 2 weeks after she got home from my retreat in Bali. So what I was hearing while we were on commercial break, so it's interesting that you brought up love, because that's what I was hearing, is for you, the place to start is first to forgive yourself. Like, I would pin all of your issues are rooted in, okay, I hate to say love yourself more, because then that just becomes a weapon that you get to beat yourself up because you don't love yourself enough, right, which is useless and not what I want to put out into the world at all. But I would start by having so much compassion and forgiveness and affection for yourself. It's like when we punish ourselves, we repel what we want with us and what wants to be with us. Just like when you love someone who's hurting himself, it's hard to be with. And that is kind of what you're doing energetically, is you've been punishing yourself. It's like your body got your attention because your body wants you to be so much better to yourself and kinder to yourself and take better care of yourself, and that will build your magnetic attraction. But you have to start with yourself and your self-worth first and root out everything that gets in the way of that so that you can just be a clear channel of love.
And I guess you can't beat yourself up, can you?
It's not going to attract what you want. And you deserve, of course you need to be attracted to who you're going to be with. Nobody wants to be settled for. It's impossible. You can't be with somebody you're not attracted to. And you also need more than just somebody who is physically attractive to you. You need your person, who loves and worships and partners with you and makes you a better version of yourself, who you also contribute to and bring out the best in them.
All right, let's go to Ryan in Van Nuys, California now. Go ahead, Ryan. Thanks for holding.
Hey, George.
Hi there.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm so glad I followed her because, I just turned 50 this month, and I'm in great shape. I feel like I'm doing all right. So you can get some 50-year-olds that are still doing all right.
Oh, totally, yes. My husband is 55 and smoking hot.
I wouldn't say smoking hot, but whatever. I want to say, I'm sorry, your guest, George, tonight, what's your name?
Morgana.
What is it?
It's Morgana.
Morgana. I can't see you, but I can feel your energy. I absolutely adore you. Like, you're so fantastic. So I'm trying to stay positive. The reason I'm calling is because I recently, more recently lost my father. And George, God bless your mother. I hope she lives to be 120 years old. I hope she sets the world record.
Thank you, Ryan.
It's so special. You have no idea. Lost my mother when she was 67. My dad last year. But your guest tonight is so, I feel like her energy through the phone even. So pure.
So how does he manifest? He's just lost his parents over the years, including his father recently.
Yeah, I lost my father too 4 years ago, and that's
tough to overcome.
It's tectonic. It's like it shifts the world, and yet life goes on, and we live our life to honor our parents. Nothing makes my father happier than my happiness, and so that's how I honor him, and I appreciate him, and it's so much easier now that we're in our 50s to actually recognize how much they sacrificed for us when we were young.
How do you handle grief?
Grief is love. That's all grief is. Hallelujah to have had a relationship worthy of grief. So you feel it. And you can feel pain, and you can feel hurt, and you can feel gratitude at the same time. But I think grief is another way that we honor those we love. It is just That's all it is. It's love, and sometimes it hurts, but it's also very sweet. You wouldn't grieve if you didn't love your parents so much. So I would focus on the love part and receive their love in return, because they're still around you and you can feel them when you tune in.
Let's go to...
They need you, really, truly. Their reason for having you is your growth and your happiness and your evolution, and that is how you serve and honor your parents. That's how you process.
Let's go to Jim in New York. Welcome to the show. Hey, Jim, go ahead, sir.
Hello. I'd like to know if you could tune into any of my monsters, financial, love, whatever it is.
What makes you think you have a monster?
I
think we just lost him.
Hello?
Yeah, we lost him. Next up, Super in Los Angeles, west of the Rockies. Super, go ahead.
Hi, George. Hi, Miss Morgana.
Hey,
How are you
Soup.
guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just going to call them obstacles instead of monsters.
Go ahead.
Okay. And it's pretty much the same. I feel like I have a disability myself, but since I was born with it, I don't see it as an obstacle as much as maybe other people would. But I'm totally blind myself. But I feel like the number one obstacle, A, it takes money to make money, and B, it's a level of mutual trust. I need to trust somebody to, give me a grant, provide me a loan, and then they just need to trust me that I can, return that with, the return on investment with the business that I've been calling about on this show for about 3 years now. Any idea?
Well, first you have to trust yourself. That no matter what happens, you can handle it. It always comes back to, are you trustworthy? Do you find yourself trustworthy? Because you are what you have. You can call it obstacle. I like the personification because it makes it more real than an abstract concept. But when we look at obstacles as simply an obstacle, I also like to look at obstacles as tools. Like a roadblock can course correct, can be a message from the universe of, oh, you're supposed to veer to the side in this direction because this is in your way. Or it's something you can get on top to get a bigger, I'm using vision, but, a bigger view, sense of what your options are. So I like to make friends with obstacles. How can you turn when something, because if you're making progress, it's absolutely guaranteed that you will hit obstacles. And if you're not heading in a direction, you won't hit obstacles. So if you're hitting obstacles, you know that you're moving, which is something to get excited about. Yay, you. You're making progress. Obstacles only happen when you're in motion and making progress. So how can you use the obstacle to get to your goal in an even better way than without? Choose to use it as a gift. And if there's anything that I do, I like to take the worst things and make them really useful.
And you do a good job doing that.
Thank you.
Good luck, Super. Let's go next to Jackie in San Diego, California. Hi, Jackie.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. It's kind of like a miracle. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with money, and right now I'm living off widow's benefits, and I'm just tired, and I've had opportunities to make money, and I just missed a lot of opportunities, and I'm just wondering how I can unblock myself so that I'm not broke all the time.
Yeah. So I said earlier, and this is probably just my biggest mantra in life, is that change happens at the speed of safety, and if change isn't happening, something isn't safe yet. So you're protecting yourself, and it sounds like there's a lot there to protect yourself from. Even the widow benefit is like blood money, so there's grief attached to the money you're receiving, and I'm sure this is not the first negative encounter that you've had with money. So I totally believe and know that you can bring money into your life. But first you need to get really honest about what you're pushing away. And it's never actually the money. Money is the symptom. I know that a lot of people like to say, change your money story, change your life. And if that works, great. I've never seen it work. But use what money represents. And again, anything that made you feel unloved or not good enough, that's always, if I dig deep enough, there's something not enough, not good enough, not powerful enough, not strong enough, not something enough. Anything that has made you feel unsafe, because money definitely represents safety. And you can even go into injustice. And you just pour that in and pour it and pour it and pour it, all the bad stuff. And give it the power of giving it personhood. This is where the magic happens. It's like casting a spell, and you put all that energy into that bad entity. And you want to make it as real to you as possible, not your parents, not you, not anybody currently in your life, but also not cartoonish. You want to really feel like, ooh, this is a bad person. How big is it? What does it smell like? Is it a guy or a girl? What does the eyes look like? Its teeth, its fingernails. And then make a decision that it no longer gets to live. And slay it in the most spectacularly, overdramatically violent way possible, which is really weird for me to say because I'm, a very spiritual, nonviolent person. But there's a real energy release when you do that. When you take all that victim energy, which is really sacred, it's the lead that we turn into gold. That's why I call this alchemy. And then you slay it, and that rises you out of the victim experience. And when the monster is gone and all that's exists as love, then you can take a look at everything as it is, but it's already different. And you see it through the eyes of your money honey partner, and you can see opportunities, and you can love yourself and forgive yourself for all the things you regret. Now, you did the best you could with the information you had at the time, and you don't need to be held back by that.
Not at all. Morgana, thanks for being on the program. Keep in touch until your next book is done, all right?
Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself. Her website linked up at coasttocoastam.com, and her book is called Financial Alchemy, 12 Months of Magic and Manifestations. And it's the manifestations part that is really important. For Dan Galante, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, Sean Ladesseur, Stephanie Smith, Chris Burrows, Tim Banal, George Knapp, and Ian Punnett,